Okay, so I have my little pretend heel flap here. We're getting ready to turn the heel. We're going to do short rows back and forth across, growing ever increasingly longer to cup the fabric underneath the heel. To start that behavior, we're going to find about 3/4 of an inch worth of stitches. You can go back to your gauge. In my instance, I'm going to use 8 because 3/4 is easy to figure out. So that would be 6 stitches. I'm going to center 6 stitches in the center of this heel flap. If, as in your case, you have 36 stitches on your heel flap, centering an even number is appropriate. If for some reason your heel flap was an odd number, and that can happen and it's all good, there's no reason why not. If it was an odd number, you would want to center an odd number in the middle of the heel flap. So it might, in that case, be 5 stitches or even 7 stitches. Up or down 1, not of huge significance, but that it be even or odd is very important. In your case, 36 stitches, you'll want even number in the middle. I placed a pin on each side of them, so I know where they are. And now it tells us knit across to the second pin. Not the first pin. I was going to cast on 36 stitches because I know that's what you have, and my tail was too long. I guessed wrong. I wasn't paying close enough attention. Slip the pin, work to the second pin. And now when I think about it, I kind of wished I'd done fewer, then you wouldn't have to watch so much. Okay, I'm going to remove it. SSK, slip is to knit, slip is to knit, knit the 2 stitches together, and knit 1, and turn. Yes, right here in the middle of the row. I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to slip the first stitch as to purl. I remember to do it that way because I'm on the purl side. So on the knit side, I'm going to slip as to knit, and on the purl side, I'm going to slip as to purl. So I'm going to slip the first stitch, purl to the second pin, remove the pin, purl 2 together, and purl 1 more, and turn. Now, I want you to look at something. I want you to see something. Stop for just a second. Let's take a peek. Do you see that big gap? Do you see the space between the stitches? There's one right over here where our needles are too. We just can't see it because it's where the needles are, but it's there. The goal now is to close those spaces on the knit side with an SSK and on the purl side with the purl 2 together. And then we'll work 1 more stitch after the decrease. When you turn, you always slip the first stitch of the row. I'm almost reading to you here. Oh no, there's a, do you see the, I have to get that fixed. Type error. So you're going to slip the first stitch of each row each time on the purl side as to purl and the knit side as to knit. You're going to do that until all of the stitches are worked, and you will end with a purl side row. So let's do a little bit of this. I'm going to slip as to knit. I'm going to knit to the gap. I'm almost to the gap. Do you see it? Now, I'm going to slip the one on this side, slip the one on that side, knit them together, and knit 1 more. Turn. Slip the first stitch as to purl. Purl to the gap. And I'm going to pinch the gap shut this time with a purl 2. There's the gap. Do you see it coming? Purl 2 together. I'm going to pinch it shut with a purl 2 together, purl one more, turn, slip the first stitch. I'm on the knit side, so I'm going to slip it as to knit. I'm going to knit to the gap, and this time I'm going to I'm on the knit side, so I'm going to SSK. Here it comes, see it? Slip as to knit, slip as to knit, put them together, knit one more. Would also be possible, I like the SSK, slip the first stitch, I'm on the purl side, so as to purl back and close the gap with a purl two together. Here we come, there's the gap, pinch it together, purl one more, and turn. Now, it would be possible, if you're not horribly fond of the SSK, slip as to knit. You could knit two together through the back loops. Knit two together through the back loops. Knit one more. Turn. Slip as to purl. Purl back. As you can tell, the rows are getting progressively longer. Purl two together, close the gap, purl one more. Pretty quick, I'm going to be at the end now, but you can almost not see. It's almost not big enough. Can you see these little guys shaping the piece to turn it? If I'd had a heel flap, it would turn to go like this under the back of the heel. At the end of this point, we're going to pick up the gussets. As soon as we're done turning the heel, we'll pick up gussets. More on that to come.